Good morning, dear students. I welcome all of you to maths class today. Students, I hope you must have recalled these numerals. You know what these are? Yes, you have learned these numerals in the previous class also. These are Roman numerals. Now today we are going to learn more about these numerals. Now let's first see, where do we observe these Roman numerals? On the buildings, on the sections, on the classes even, class 1, 2, 3. After the names of monarchs or popes like Elizabeth I, Elizabeth II, and on even clocks. So students, today we will learn about the 7 basic symbols that are used to write Roman numerals. So let's see, the first letter is I. The first Roman symbol is I and it stands for 1. Next is V and it stands for 5. Next is X, that stands for 10. The next one is L, that stands for 50. Now this is the new one, C. C stands for 100. D, D stands for 500. M stands for 1000. One more very important information, the Roman numeral system does not have any symbol for 0. Now let's learn the rules for writing numbers starting from 1 to 100. The symbols I, V, X, L and C are used to write numbers 1 to 100 according to the following rules. Rule 1 is numerals I and X can be repeated. Repetition means addition. I and X can be repeated up to 3 times. So let's see the first case. If you will be having I twice, that means 1 plus 1, that is equal to 2. If we have X thrice, that means 10 plus 10 plus 10, which means it is equal to 30. Rule 2. A numeral written after a numeral of bigger value is added. Like VII, that is equal to 5. 5 stands for what? V. And 2 i's are there, so plus 2. So the value is 7. Next, we have XXV. So its value will be 10 plus 10 plus 5, that is 25. Here in both the cases, you can see the numerals of smaller values are written after the numerals of bigger value. That is why we have added the values, right? One more example is there, LX. L is the bigger value whereas X is the smaller one. So we will add the two values. So we will have 50 plus 10 equal to 60. Rule 3. A numeral written before a numeral of bigger value is subtracted. Now this rule is just reverse of the rule that is done before, right? Now the first case is IB. Now you know I is of smaller value whereas V is of bigger value, right? And the numeral of smaller value is written before that of the bigger value. So we will subtract here. So the answer will be 5 minus 1 equal to 4. Right? So Hindu Arabic value for this Roman numeral is 4. IX. Again the same case. We will subtract 1 from 10. So we get 9. XC. Again here we will subtract the value of x, that is 10, from the value of c, that is 100. So we get 100 minus 10, that is 90. Now the fourth and the last rule is, if a number is placed between two numbers of greater value, it is subtracted from the number on the right. I can be subtracted from V and X. X can be subtracted from L and C. V and L are never subtracted. So here we have XIV. Now I has smaller value as compared to the two numerals that are on its either sides. So we have XIV. So what we will do, we will write first the value of x, that is 10, plus within brackets we are going to subtract the value of I from that of v. So we get 5 minus 1 within brackets. So the answer will be 10 plus 4, that is 14. Now the next Roman numeral is XXIX. So here again the value of x is 10, the next x again plus 10 for the next Roman numeral, that is I, that is written before the bigger Roman numeral, that is x. So we will write 10 minus 1 within brackets. So we will have 10 plus 10, 20, 20 plus 9, 29. Now here we have LIX. L and X both have bigger values than I. So what we will do? We will first write the value of X. Then we will subtract the value of I from that of X. Right? So we will have 50 plus within brackets 10 minus 1. So that will be 50 plus 9, 59. So students, let's recall the Roman numerals that you have done in the previous class up to 40. Here you can see I is written for 1, 2 I's for 2, 3 I's for 3. Now you know we cannot repeat any Roman numeral more than thrice, right? So we will have here the value of 4 as IV. Now what does it mean? V stands for 5 and I is written before that, to the left of this Roman numeral. So we will have to subtract the value of I from that of V. So we will get 5 minus 1, that is 4. That is why 4 is written like this. 5 V, 6 VI, 7 VII, 8 VIII, and then 9. Again we could not repeat I more than thrice. So what we will do? We will write I to the left of X. Right? So we will have 10 minus 1, that is 9. So IX is the symbol for 9. For 10 we have X. For 11 we will write I to the right of X. There we will add the value of I to X. So that will be 10 plus 1, 11. For 14 we will have XIV. So value of X is 10 plus within brackets 5 minus 1, that is 4. So you will have 14. So that is why we write 14 like this. 15 we will have xv. For 16 we will have xvi. For 19 we will have XIX. For 21 again you will have to repeat 10 twice XX, right? Plus 1, so I is added to the right side. So we get XXI. For 23 it will be XXIII. 25 XXV. 29 XXIX. XX stands for 20, 10 plus 10 20, and the last IX stands for 9. 10 minus 1 9, so you get 29. For 30 you will repeat X thrice. For 31 we will add I to the right, so we will get XXXI. For 34 it will be XXXIV. For 36 it will be XXXVI. For 39 it is XXX. 30 IX means 9, so 39. For 40 we will write XL. You know L is 50. So if we will write x to its left, the value of x will be subtracted from that of L. So we get 50 minus 10, that is 40. Right? So students, let's do some practice. In your exercise number 6, the question number 1 is, write the Hindu-Arabic numerals for LXV. Now LXV, you can see all the values are in decreasing order, right? So after every bigger value you are having smaller value. So what you will do? You will have to add the values. So you get 50 plus 10 plus 5, that is 65. Now let's discuss one more part. XCVIII. Now XC, if you consider these two, what do you get? C stands for 100 and X stands for 10. So its value will be 90. 100 minus 10, that is 90. And beyond that you have VIII means 8. So the value will be 100 minus 10 within brackets plus 5 plus 1, 1, 1. So you get 98. Now let's discuss two parts of the next question. 77. How should we write that in the form of Roman numerals? So 77. So how can we do that? 50 plus 10 plus 10, right? That will be 70 plus 5 plus 2. That is 7. So 77, right? For 50 we can write L. For further tens you can write XX, and for 7 you can write VII. So the Roman numeral for 77 will be LXXVII. Now let's see it for 89. 89 can be written as 50 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, that is 80, plus 10 minus 1, right? So for 50 again we have L. For the 3 tens we will write 3x, and then for 9 we will write IX. So we get LXXXIX. So students, I am going to give you the list of all these numbers, Roman numerals starting from 1 to 100, which you can copy down and practice at home. All the numerals are given till 100. The value of 100 will be C. I hope the concept is very much clear to all of you. Goodbye.